Welcome once again to what has become the international home of boxing, Riyadh in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And you heard me say it earlier, this is the fight card of the year. And I believe the proof is in the pudding, as we say in the United States. The 8 fighters featured on our main card have a combined record of 193 wins, only 3 losses, with 137 knockouts. Truly incredible numbers, and we're all expecting an incredible night this Saturday. Let's turn it over first now to the CEO of Ring Magazine, Rick Reno. Rick, we've basically got 2 main events here on the dais right now, do we not?
These are 2 absolutely smashing fights. I mean, in the first contest, when Devin went up to the welterweight division, Devin has a big enough name that he could have picked anybody to fight. But he wanted the smoke. He wanted the guy that nobody wanted to fight. He wanted to go against one of the most dangerous punchers in the weight division, another undefeated guy in WBO world champion, Brian Norman Jr. A lot of people view this fight as speed versus power. But, Brian's made it clear that he's bringing a lot more than power to this fight, and Devin's made it clear that he's bringing a lot more than speed. Absolutely intriguing contest, and you have varying opinions, and that's when you have a good fight, when there's varying opinions on who might come out on top. And the main event, when you have 2 guys who are called the Mexican Monster and the Beast, you can't go wrong in that fight. An absolute tear-up. Both guys are coming for war. David's never been in a bad fight. Anthony's never been in a bad fight. This is one of those contests where don't take a bathroom break. Don't walk away from your seat. Don't blink. It could be dynamite from the first round on. Both guys are coming for war. It's going to be one unbelievable event with fight after fight after fight. You got multiple fights on this card that could have headlined on their own, individually, anywhere, and we're getting it all one night, exclusively on DAZN this Saturday in Riyadh, and I'll turn it back to you, Todd.
Thank you, Rick. Let's now turn our attention to the promoter for Brian Norman Jr., Mr. Carl Moretti, the Vice President of Top Rank. Carl, you've known about this fighter for a long time. He might be the best kept secret in boxing. What makes Brian Norman so special?
Well, Saturday night you'll see why for sure. But, I really can't wait for this show. I can't wait for this fight. I can't wait for social media. I've never seen so many experts in my life come out and tell Devin what to do and tell Brian what to do, and then see what they say after the fight, because they're all going to be wrong. It's one of the, it's the best fight in the welterweight division. Whoever wins this, I can't wait to see who doesn't call out the winner. But, it's been a trip the whole time. We're very confident in what Brian Norman can do. Bill Haney's been selling this fight from start to finish. He's a trip, man. He's one of a kind. He kind of reminds me of the captain of the Titanic who's bragging that he saw the iceberg. Well, Brian Norman's the iceberg, and we know how that worked out for everybody. So we can't wait for the bell to ring Saturday night.
All right, let's bring in Brian Norman Jr.'s trainer, his father, Brian Norman Sr. We expect the fight to be outstanding in the ring, but outside of the ring, the build-up has been just as exciting, especially the back and forth between you and Bill Haney. You guys were going at it just a few minutes ago. You said your son's going to knock out Devin in the ring, and you've already knocked out Bill Haney verbally. Why is there so much animosity between you two?
Listen, first of all, I know Carl may not know or keep up with everything, but Bill been missing. Everybody know he been missing. You understand what I'm saying? Bill was missing for 2 months. Bill will come back, he'll get beat up, he'll go away again. Bill come back, he say he locked in, Man, you're looking for excuses. We're not worried about that. You understand what I'm saying? Brian Norman Jr., it's time for him to show who he really is. Devin Haney is the perfect opponent to show who he really is. We know his accolades. We know all of his, everything that he's achieved or whatever else. I think he's tailor-made for Brian Norman Jr. to beat, and I think he's tailor-made for Brian Norman Jr. to become a star. I think this whole situation, the table is set, and all Brian Norman Jr. got to do is go eat. That's it.
All right, let's let Bill Haney have the mic now. I'm sure you have plenty to say about Brian Norman Sr. and Brian Norman Jr.
Well, first, I want to thank Allah for this opportunity. It's been quite a journey, and I'm going to ask for all the patience in him to give me to not just go in on that clown over there. You dig what I'm saying? But first, let me acknowledge the star-studded cast, both on the stage right now and those that's behind the stage to make this thing happen. I've had quite some mentors in this business. I see Jay over there, you know what I mean, with Abdullah Mason, a tremendous talent who's fighting for a championship, something that dreams are made of. He comes from a great family of boys and men that's been standing on business, and now they have their opportunity. Of course, you got the Benavidez's who paved the way and trailblazed the way for guys like us to be independent. He started at like 16, 17, and I've been tapped in with Benavidez from the beginning. And you got Tunde. That's right, brother. He fought to be up on this stage. His name wasn't up on here, but he represents this shit. And the clown over there, you dig what I'm saying? He came for the show, but he's going to get his in a minute. You know what I'm saying? So Tunde and Anthony Yard, I knew them from coming to the Mayweather gym across the pond, and Tunde learning the game from Floyd and them and putting it down. So to see them on the stage and them two families getting a bunch of money means a whole lot to me. Reno, you know, you speak for yourself, and what he's doing in boxing behind the scenes with Turki Al-Sheikh, and giving us the opportunity. The one thing, when I met Turki, I said, listen, I don't know what everybody else got to say to you, but I need to tell you we've been getting robbed. And I said, listen, if you work with my son, you're going to see someone that's standing on business and willing to make all the sacrifices to be the kind of fighter that you want backing up Riyadh season. So here we are. They have a great relationship. That Devin is standing on business, just like Reno said, and it didn't matter who it was. You know what I mean? We wanted the opportunity to be here, and we want the max money. You know what I mean? That's what this business is about. Because taking punches, you know, there comes a time when you have to rely on what you've invested in and made happen. You know what I mean? So now, with that, let me get to the clown over there. Now, Devin has fought 3 champions to become the fighter that he is. We went across the pond to Australia and they said that I couldn't come, and he said, well, Dad, I'm going to bring the belt back. That was one of the most impressive times in my life that this man had did, and I knew that he was full grown and on his own. We came back to the 140-pound division and fought Regis Prograis, someone that no one wanted to fight because, I mean, he was the Rougarou, okay? And then after everybody assassinated him and said, well, the left hook, the clown's son, tremendous fighter, put a guy in a coma. You know, he had lost memory for, I don't know, you know, he had lost memory of the fight and everything, right? So for Devin to give Carl Moretti and Lomachenko the opportunity for the undisputed title, right? Something that he didn't have to do because he could have went up and fought at 140, but he still made the sacrifice and stood on business, right? For us to come back then when the clown didn't have no opportunity, nobody wanted to fight him, right? He had complained about Boots and had complained about everybody. Where was he going to have an opportunity to be on this stage right here if Devin didn't give him the opportunity? I don't know if he's ungrateful, he's just slow, or he's just capping, but you should have took longer when you had the mic, dummy. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm going to wrap this up with alhamdulillah, and it's a great opportunity. Thank you for everybody on this stage for giving us the opportunity to grace it with you.
So I want to say, thank you, Bill, for that bullshit ass speech. So check this out right here. So hold on, check this out right here. You got a man in Bill Haney who literally just said to me, who was gonna fight my son? Not to mention this fight with Devin Haney was made 7 days after my son just made the knockout of the year. Less than 7 days. So what the hell do you mean who was gonna fight my son? You never gave an opportunity. You don't know what the hell we had on the table. You have no clue who was gonna fight my son. Don't tell me nobody was looking for him. He had just fought. Devin hadn't fought since May. You just made the statement and said you went to Turki Al-Sheikh and said if you back up Devin, this is gonna be the best. He was the most bullshit fighter on the card. He was the worst one, literally. He was literally the worst fighter on the card. Can we admit that? Hell no, we can't
listen,
admit
let me
that.
ask you this. Let me ask you
I let
this.
you
though.
talk. I
Hey,
let
sir,
you talk.
Sir, let me ask you. Is your son the best fighter at 147 pounds? Is he the most dangerous and feared fighter at 147 pounds, sir?
Absolutely, but we already know that. We was talking about that. Let's keep it right. Let's keep it right. We was talking about that. See, listen. Here's the problem. Wait, let me tell you the problem. What happens? So what you did was you brought a bunch of goopy hoes, all your fellas that you paid to bring. You brought a bunch of goopy hoes, and now what they doing is they fucking the whole press conference up for you and me.
I don't
That's
know,
what they
but
doing.
listen,
we trying to get active. They trying to do
Turkey,
all
if
they
you
little,
listen,
they
if
trying
you
to get some money from me. That's what they trying to
put
do.
something on the table for me and him to wrestle on this motherfucking stage, then just let it be known and we can get to it. Other than that, let's get to having a great night in boxing.
The last time social media heard, Bill Haney said, "I'm gonna make my pro debut against
Well, let's see right now.
on the undercard."
Come on, let's see right now.
Well, let's go then. What we gonna do? What the hell we gonna do? Look at it. He high. He high. He high. He high. He high. He high. Man, come on, bro. What we talking about?
All right, who wants to hear from their sons? Anybody here want to hear from the guys actually fighting on Saturday night?
Hey, hold on.
You supposed to be fighting me.
Listen.
You supposed to be fighting me, Bill.
Okay.
You supposed to be fighting me. When we gonna fight?
Okay, listen. Right now, if you want to. But listen, let me just say
You
this.
said it was on site, Negro. I done seen you five times.
Okay. Shout out to the professionalism in this guy to come out when he did. This is amazing town. We've been here since November the 1st, right? And what we have is what we call when you get acclimated in Saudi, we got that bounce. You dig? Now tell him, let's see that bounce over there. Stiff as boards over there, you dig? November 22nd, my son gonna punish him.
All right, let's hear now from Devin Haney. Devin, for the first time in your career, I believe you are the underdog in this matchup. Do you feel everything you've accomplished in your career that you should be the favorite?
Not anymore. I think it was an update in the odds.
No, sir, he's still the underdog. He's still the underdog. Check again.
No, alhamdulillah, I'm happy that
He's still underdog.
To be here. I thank Allah for this opportunity. I thank His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh for giving me this opportunity to be fighting here in Riyadh. This is a dream come true of mine. A dream come true of mine to be fighting for another world title. And this is not my first rodeo, so it won't be anything different. I look to bring back the WBO title back home to me and my family, my team, and yeah.
All right, Brian, Devin has fought and beaten 7 world champions. To my knowledge, you haven't fought a single champion in your career yet. What do you say to those who believe you're not ready to deal with someone of his caliber?
First thing first, this is a wonderful fight card, and gotta thank everybody that made this fight happen. That's Turki Al Sheikh, His Excellency, Ring, my father, Bob Arum, Top Rank. I appreciate y'all for making this fight happen, and I truly feel like either you got it or you don't. Of course, he has fought, he has did wonderful things in his time period and what he had going on, but it's time for another face to come up here and do his own thing, and that's where that boy Brian Noma Jr. step in at.
Well, you said in Devin's last fight against Jose Ramirez that he ran so much he had to change shoes because they ran out of grip. That said, he won basically every round of that fight. How do you plan to force him into exchanges with you when other fighters haven't been able to seem to do that?
I mean, it's only so far you can go. We in the box. It's not like he could just run forever, so no matter if he run or he stay there, no matter what, the boy going to sleep.
And Devin, what's your strategy for Brian? He says there's no way that you're going to stand in the pocket and exchange with him. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, we fight everybody, different. Like I said, this is not my first rodeo. I fought Ramirez different than I fought Loma. I fought Loma different than I fought Regis. So the world got to see, what game plan me and my team has drawn up and how I'm going to beat this guy.
Well, in a recent face-to-face interview, you said he was just another guy. He's a bum. Why do you feel that way about him?
No, I think he's a great fighter.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, Devin, what's your prediction for Saturday?
Devin Haney, WBO champion.
Groupie hoes.
Brian.
Groupie hoes.
Brian, how confident are you that you can get a decision win against Devin, or do you think you just have to knock him out to win?
I could go in by any means necessary. If I want to go to the cards, I could do that. If I want to knock him out, I'm definitely going to do that anyway, as is. It's me stepping my name in the game.
So what will happen Saturday? How do you win?
The boy going to sleep, dog.
All right. Well, good luck to you guys. That will be the co-main event. Can't wait to see that.